Brandon McCarthy sitting alongside Brett Anderson. Two fellas trying to fight back after very bad injuries, setbacks. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Down goes Dahl. So it's the Rockies' turn to leave a couple on base, and we're heading for the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 Colorado.
I'm in there as Katie.
I'll call you later. Or no, I won't. I'll text you because what am I, your dad? Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, just text me.
Thank you. Get home safe. This must be what Antonio Brown feels like when he's dancing in the end zone.
Huh. This must be how Lucas felt when he finally got Katie's number.
Pepsi. It's not just a car. It's your daily retreat. Go ahead. Spoil yourself. The ES and ES Hybrid. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Taco Bell's $5 box can transport you to the future of gaming. Grab the new Cheddar Habanero Quesarito box with a Doritos Locos Taco, Crunchy Taco, and medium drink, and you could win PlayStation VR.
In banking and baseball, you have to stay alert. With my Bank of America mobile banking app, I can select alerts that notify me when unusual activity is detected on my credit and debit cards. I used to play when I was younger. I love the outfield. All that green grass. Until the championship and the inside the park home run. Sure could have used an alert then. I missed lunch that day.
Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop online at choosenissan.com. Well, it's a while ago, April the 10th, 1962, the opening of Dodger Stadium. Eddie Casco, the third baseman, got the first hit. Johnny Padres was the pitcher. And, of course, a big home run over the center field wall right between the flagpoles, hit by Wally Post. And the Dodgers lost the opening game at the strike. However, they came right back. Koufax won the second game. Pete Rickard won. Drysdale won, and they were off to run until they tripped and fell at the end of the year against the Giants. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Kike. He has grounded a third, fly to center. That misses. 2-1. By the way, we've been talking about what a great job McCarthy did because he's coming back from injury. But let's tip the cap to young Tyler Anderson, holding the Dodgers to 1 run through 5. Little ground foul. 2-2 to the young man from Las Vegas. Cleaning the table. 6'4", 215. He will be 27 the 30th of December. 2-2 to Kike. Fastball hit to short. Long throw by Adames, but he's got a good arm. 1 away. J.P. Howell now gets up in the Dodger bullpen. That means pinch hitter, of course, for Avilan. Here's Culberson. We'll see if Rob Segedin comes out to bat against the left-hander. And that's who it is. So 1 out in the 6th. Culberson struck out and singled. And then we'll have Rob Segedin hitting for Avilan. Fastball fouled off on his foot. No play. 0-1. Charlie, a typical example of the way the Dodgers have been hitting today. He came up with runners at second and third, 1 out, and struck out. Then he came up in the 4th inning with 2 out and the bases empty and singled. Strike 1 pitch. 1-1. Yeah, that's the maddening thing about the game. That's just like you hit a line drive for an out, and then you hit one on the handle, a blooper, and it drops in. And you hope to think all things balance out to keep your sanity over the course of 162 games. Players have, and they've always had it for, I guess, as long as the game is played. They have that philosophy. It will all balance out. I don't know if it ever does, but that's what keeps them playing day in, day out, the ups and the downs. Oh, it'll balance out. 1-2 to Charlie. Fastball punch to the hole. LeMahieu, a great sliding stop, but the throw's late. Boy, don't you like all-out hustle? You can understand Chase Utley, a first-place club, battling to win the division. But DJ LeMahieu on a third-place team going nowhere, and he's not about to quit. Too late. Great try. So Culberson now is 2 for 3. And Rob Segedin coming up. Segedin has 2 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Dodgers have the tying run aboard at first. Segedin batting for Avilan. That was almost like a screwball. That thing danced away. 1 ball and no strikes. Left-handed, just kind of turning it over a little bit. And boy, it really did wiggle. And ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Adames. They go to second, turn it to first. And again, the Dodgers just can't seem to get it started, which is not their failure. Let's face it, it's a tribute to the young left-hander Tyler Anderson. And at the end, it's 6, 2-1 Colorado.
Buy one, get one boneless wing. It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, there's way more worlds than that. There's Earth.
Right.
Earth 2.
No, just pick another planet.
Florida.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings are out of this world. This is how you Sonic.
All right, guys, listen up. We're getting killed out there. Prostate cancer is kicking our butts. Coach Ramil, the stats.
Pathetic. 1 in 7 men are going to get it.
And 1 in 5 African-American men. We got a problem. So what are we going to do about it? Get screened, coach. Get screened. Get screened. Get screened.
Learn more at prostatepeptalk.com.
The new face of HR is surprisingly human, so give your employees a more human HR platform, namely payroll, benefits, talent management, and more. Our software makes it easy.
It's the best system I've ever used for anything related to operating a business. Everyone's interested in using it, and I get all my information.
You can really focus on strategy and content, which is really great for an HR director.
Namely, HR for humans. Schedule your free demo today at namely.com.
Get your choppers.
Sir, target now in sight.
Target now out of sight. Call the doctor. Looks like you have missile poisoning.
Mobile strike. Download and play now. Free from the App Store.
Well, what's left on the calendar for the Dodgers? Everything on the road, that's what's left. 3 games in San Diego, 3 games in San Francisco. That will finish off the regular season, and then the hard stuff begins as they get into the playoffs. For the 4th straight year, they have won the National League Division, and of course the entire city remembers, well, a lot of people remember '88, but that's too long ago. And the people are saying, yeah, that's well done, but come on, get a move on. That's what happened in Atlanta. You know, Atlanta kept winning divisions, kept winning playoffs, and they won 1 World Series out of, I don't know how many, maybe 14. So Mark Ravager talking to Walt Weiss. J.P. Howell is the pitcher, and he'll be facing Parra, Adames, and Garneau. Parra playing right field last night, playing first base, has struck out and lined out. Both at bats were against McCarthy. Ball one. I don't think any pitcher has more movement than JP, and one of the big reasons is his index finger on his left hand. He digs the nail in, and wow. 2-0 the count. J.P. Howell, one of the members of the Heroes Behind the Fence out there in left field. His record of 1-1. He's in his 63rd game. Hard ground ball right to that Gold Glove, and Gonzalez sucks it up. One away. That'll bring Adames, who is single and left. Oh, well, let's talk. Very quiet now. Oh boy, well, it's kind of hot, and I've got a bare shoulder to lean on, and I can always watch the game in the 8th inning, maybe, if I get that far. One ball and no strikes. Adames 1 for 2. Again, trying to play shortstop in the wake of Troy Tulowitzki and then Trevor Story, who broke down the house with 27 home runs at the start of the year, only to damage his thumb, and they've lost his services for the rest of the year. Fouled away, 1-1. Look ahead for the Dodgers. Well, it'll be the 7th inning, and it'll be the top of the order. Kendrick, Turner, Seager, and a left-hander warming up now in the Colorado bullpen. Remember, 95 degrees. You've got to be strong to stay out there, and Anderson has done a great job. 2-1. Chris Russin, a left-hander, up in the pen. There he is. Turner even with the bag at third. Looking bunt. That's in there for a strike. 2-2 to Christian Adames. And that's hit in the air to shallow right. And here comes Puig to pick it up. So a little flare to right field that drops in. So Adames, who is not a big hitter, is 2 for 3. And the batter will be Dustin Garneau. You know, you can join the 2017 Dodger family, signing up now for the season seat or mini plan wait list. Registered fans will be contacted by a Dodger season ticket rep on a first-come, first-served basis. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets or call 866-DODGERS today. Well, they're going to go to the bullpen with that flare single to right field. That will take out J.P. Howell and bring in Josh Raven. And check me, it's Pedro Baez down there now coming in. So they bring in the hard-throwing Baez to face Garneau, and we'll be back.
Fans, your attention, please. Now pitching for the Dodgers.
Good or better? The Hyundai Tucson versus the Ford Escape. Estimated fueling costs. The Ford's higher. Whoa. Estimated routine repairs. The Ford's higher.
What's happening?
In fact,
guys?
Hyundai has the lowest 5-year cost to own of all brands for 2016. So again, Ford's higher.
Guys?
That's really high.
Very funny. Ha ha.
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. The 2016 Tucson from Hyundai.
Ask any athlete, they'll tell you.
all about footwork. That's why I wear Skechers with air-cooled memory foam. They look great, they feel great.
Skechers, the undisputed champion of comfort.
I am Benedict Arnold, the infamous traitor, and I know a thing or two about trading. So I trade with E-Trade, where true traders trade on a trademark trade platform that has all
the computer, traitor!
I won't.
Mobility is very important to me. That's why I use E-Trade Mobile. It's on all my mobile devices, so it suits my mobile lifestyle. And it keeps my investments fully mobile, even when I'm on the move.
Sign up at etrade.com and get up to $600.
Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you exclusively on Spectrum by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. 2-1 in favor of the Colorado Rockies. Big crowd here today, and bless them, a lot of youngsters. Boy, do we love to see them awake or asleep. And that young lady holding up the sign for which I am eternally grateful. All right, let's get back to Pedro Baez and Dustin Garneau. On deck, Steven Cardullo, who played first base throughout the series. 2-1 Rockies. They have Adames at first. One out, and Baez working, and high and tight. Garneau around as if to bunt. Next step was to get out of the way. 1 ball and no strikes. One thing to think about, and I'm not sure if that's why Walt Weiss has his bullpen active here in the top of the 7th. If you look at Tyler Anderson's work, and it's been marvelous through 6 innings, allowing just 1 run. But in his young career, the 7th inning is absolute agony for him. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Garneau, and there goes the runner. It's fouled at the plate, and that got a little bit of Ruiz, or maybe a lot of bit of Ruiz. So Carlos, in his long 13-year career in the big leagues, shaken up for the umpteenth time. So timeout. Dave Roberts comes out to make sure that Chooch, as they call him, can still play. Boy, he took a lick. Not to disregard Ruiz, there is a beach ball out on the field, so it's going to take a minute to retrieve that and also give him a chance to catch his breath. We were talking about Tyler Anderson. The 7th inning for Tyler Anderson, his earned run average in that inning alone is 7.5. So maybe knowing all of that and then some, Walt Weiss has his bullpen active before we get to the 7th. Boy, the young left-hander has been terrific. 6 innings, 90 pitches, and he's leading 2-1. Down south, 3-2 last we checked. They're still in the bottom of the 5th inning. Up here, 2-1 Rockies with Adames at first, 1 out. Garneau will be followed by the pinch hitter, which is another reason, after giving you that 7.5 ERA, why they're taking Anderson out. 1-1. Check swing. They look. No swing. Alfonso Marquez on the bag down the line. 2-1 the count. Now Garneau, the catcher, and catchers usually, after spending all the time in a crouch, don't run very well. So we'll see now if they might play hit and run with Adames at first. 2-1 is certainly a manager's moment. Adames, will see. He is going. Hit and run, fouled at the plate. So Garneau got a little bit of that, I think, and they count 2-2. So one catcher empathizing with the other. Adames going back to first. Still 1 out. 2-1, it certainly figured to run him. And they did, and the ball fouled away. Again, when you are in third place, you have really nothing to lose. The fourth place San Diego, they're 8 games behind Colorado, so they can play it wide open. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Adames at first, 1 out. Christian is not going on ball 3. Well, we have a moment to duck it in. Bottom of the 5th inning in San Diego. Yangervis Solarte comes up with a base hit to right center field, drives in a run, and that game is tied up 3-3. And of course, great amount of tragedy with Yangervis Solarte, whose wife died from cancer, leaving, I believe, 3 little children. She was 31 years old. 3-2 the count. Runner goes, missed at the plate. They throw on a hop. Nice tag by Charlie Culberson. It was a sinker thrown to the dirt, and Culberson not only short hopped it, he made the tag. A tough play, and Charlie did it, and a good low throw by Carlos Ruiz. So with all of that, the Rockies come up empty, and we're going to the bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Colorado.
Skechers. Bold, rugged, stylish, effortless, comfortable, relaxed. Step into style with Skechers.
Stop! With that box, you'll be the first to win PlayStation VR. Player 1. Soon, it spreads like wildfire. Humanity becomes so plugged in, we never see them coming. That's why I was sent back to stop you.
Oh, hey, I won.
Right.
The future of gaming starts at Taco Bell. Grab any $5 box and you can be one of the first to win PlayStation VR.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
¿Crees que habrá alguien tan interesante como él?
No es fácil saberlo.
Bottom of the 7th inning, and Kendrick hits a pop fly. LeMahieu fights the sun. He's done a great job doing that all day. So Howie doesn't hang around very long. Pops it up, and we have 1 out, bottom of the 7th, and Justin Turner coming up. So with 1 away, Turner doubled and walked. And remember, the ERA for Tyler Anderson in the 7th is 7.5. So this is a big inning for the Dodgers and for Anderson. And a strike to Turner. Dodgers 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Yeah, they're not hitting in the clutch, but he's doing a great job pitching. And a strike, 0-2. With that leg hesitation, it reminds you of every Asian pitcher you ever saw. They all hesitate. He just does it with his leg. Oh, and 2. Dodgers trying to get off the floor. It's been 2-1 since the 3rd inning. Little ground foul outside of third down the line. We've had big crowds for the series. We had 52,320 Friday night. We had 53,299 last night. Turner, ground ball, base hit, and here the Dodgers go again, getting men on base. So Turner, a one-out single to left, and Corey Seager coming up. And again for Tyler Anderson, knowing the troubles that he has had in the seventh inning, the Rockies get another left-hander ready behind him. So ground ball single by Turner. So he's had a walk, a single, and a double. And now Seager, who singled to center with 2 out in the first inning, with second and third and nobody out, he hit back to the box. Last time up, fly to right. Chris Russin is up again in the pen, and meanwhile Seager takes under the hands. Ball one. 3-3 down south, 2-1 Rockies up here. In the dirt, nice block and save by Garneau. So 2-0 the count to Corey Seager. Anderson went 7 innings against the Cardinals. He lost that game, allowing 5 runs in the 7, but only 2 were earned. So he's a good-looking young pitcher. Off the plate, so now 3-0 to Corey Seager. Yasiel Puig waiting on deck. 2-1 Colorado. Bottom of the 7th. 3-0 to Seager. I was just going to say, I believe once earlier this year, Seager was allowed to swing 3-0, and I can see a foul ball down the right field line. So it's 3-1 on him now. And for Tyler Anderson, ready to make his 100th pitch. We'll see about Turner, whether he's going to go 3-1. He's going to get back to the bag first. Gerardo Parra tapping Turner on the head. It was a good nature thing, nothing mean about it. And Justin laughing a little. Parra with a straight face. 3-1. He's not going. And Seager, line drive just there. Down into the right field corner. Cargo was way over into right center. So here comes Turner to tie. Going to third is Corey Seager. And the Dodgers have tied it up. Corey Seager, his 5th triple of the year. Cargo was playing him over in right center field, so he couldn't get over there in a hurry. And Corey winds up with a triple, drives in the tying run, and he makes Walt Weiss come out of the dugout. And once again, that 7th inning has jumped up to take a bite out of Tyler Anderson. So Turner, a 1-out single to left. We'll check to see, did Seager get a triple or a double on the throw? It really doesn't make that much difference. Weiss has spoken. He goes back in the dugout. So we'll see whether somebody's coming out. Russin has been down. We'll check and see. We'll be right back.
Is that iced tea?
Nope, it's lemonade.
Is that iced tea?
Lemonade.
Iced tea?
What's with these people, man? Lemonade. Read the sign. Lemonade. Read it.
Okay.
Delicious.
Iced tea at a lemonade stand? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Marin saved by switching to Geico.
No iced tea.
It's lemonade, man.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
I'm a big fan of my Bank of America mobile banking app. I can manage my accounts, deposit checks, get alerts, pay my bills, and more. I'm a big fan of this team, too. In fact, I tried out to be the mascot. Apparently, I'm overqualified. I do not have an overbite.
Can you spot the Lee man?
Coffee, anyone?
He works hard until he says,
That's enough. Time to have fun.
and then he crushes having fun so freaking hard. His Lees aren't just jeans to him, they're freedom pants. Every little fiber just cheering him on like, go kill it, Eric, you're the guy. And he likes that. That's why he married a Lee woman. Move your Lee.
Corey Seager triples into the right field corner with one out, scoring Justin Turner. The Dodgers have finally tied it up after laboring for 6 innings. 7th inning caught up to Tyler Anderson again. But as Steven Cordullo takes over at first base, he will bat 9th and lead off in the 8th inning. The pitcher, Chris Russin, will go into Parra's spot. But here's the thing about Russin. You look, he's 3-4, ERA 3.7 against the Dodgers in 14 innings. Chris Russin has an earned run average of 1.29. In fact, in 14 innings, Russin has only allowed 6 hits. All right, the infield has to play up. Yasiel Puig checking in. Puig hit into a force play. He had a sacrifice fly in the 3rd and grounded a right field single in the 5th. Ball 1. One ball and no strike. Seager a tiebreaker at 3rd. 1-1 the count to Yasiel. Russin is from Detroit, Michigan. Little ground ball to 3rd. Foul ball. It was on his foot. So Puig now with the count 1-2. Christopher Patrick Russin by name. And boy, he's really done a number against the Dodgers. He's 6'2", 195. He was originally a 4th round pick by the Cubs out of the University of Kentucky. He came up to the Cubs in 2012. Chris, one class short of completing his agriculture economics degree. Here's the pitch to Puig in the dirt. Nice save by Garneau. Seager trying to get home one way or another. Waiting on deck, Adrian Gonzalez. So 2-2 to Yasiel Puig. Dodgers trying to break through finally. They've been trailing since the 3rd inning. And ball 3. Russin, a record of 3-4, has 4 wild pitches, so we'll watch out for that. And a bad ball, chased and missed. Puig wants to break the bat over his head, chasing a pitch way out of the strike zone. So 2 down, and the batter is Adrian Gonzalez. Remember, the Dodgers were 0 for 8 with a runner in scoring position. Now they're 0 for 9 as Puig strikes out. And here's Gonzalez, who is singled, robbed of a hit by Arenado, and grounded to first. Meanwhile, down south, they're 3-3. Foul ball right against the railing of the Dodger dugout. That could have wiped out part of the club. Whoa. So there they are. hitting .250 with runners in scoring position, nothing to talk about, and 0 for 9 today, again because of left-handers. 0-1. And a little roller going to get it is first baseman Cardillo, feeding his pitcher in time, and the Dodgers blow another chance. Then again, looking back over the Dodger history, make yourself comfortable. This is all part of what they do. And at the end of 7, 2-2.
So, can I see you again?
I'm free on Black Forest Ham Day.
There's a Subway 350 sub of the day to help you remember life's important days.
We got married in June.
On Tuna Day.
Every day a different 350 6-inch sub. Every day of the week. Every sub contains no artificial flavors. At just $3.50, it's a great sub at a great price.
Her name is Terry.
She was born on Sweet
Onion Chicken Teriyaki Day.
The 350 sub of the day. Every day of the week at Subway.
Americans are buying more and more of everything online. And so many businesses rely on the United States Postal Service to get it there. Because when you ship with us, your business becomes our business. That's why we make more e-commerce deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
He's pretty much guaranteed to never drop the ball. And with the Fairfield 100% guarantee, you know that we'll never drop the ball either. Because you're our #1 priority. Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott.
Could you pass the sugar?
Piece of cake. Nice flowers, move.
You can't rewrite history. But every October, new history is made. Catch up with the postseason on MLB Network.
Should have had that. Yeah, I've been there.
The Dodgers, as usual, thrilling their fans, frustrating their fans, but still hanging tough, tied up 2-2 in the 8th inning. Stephen Cardillo took over at first base and fouls one away, 0-1. Cardillo played first base last night, struck out, doubled, and grounded to short. He also played first base in the first game, flied to right, walked, fouled out, struck out. Down in the Dodger pen, Grant Dayton backing up Baez. Cardillo in the first game 0 for 3 with a walk. 0-2 the count. Boy, Ruiz is having a very tough time. He just took another lick right in the mask. So he kind of tried to backhand the ball, and it spun up and got him again. When you think of all the games that Ruiz has played, starting way down in the minor leagues, all the way up to the big leagues, the grind, and yet somehow the kid from Panama has just been truly remarkable. He started catching, believe it or not, in 1997. And he came up to Philadelphia 2006. And pretty much in the big leagues with up and down years right into this year. So I'm not sure if he's just standing there saying I'm okay. Dave Roberts kind of convinced. The Ruiz just today alone has taken several shots. Thumbs up to Baez as if to say I'm okay. Big crowd, 51,962. For the season, the Dodgers in the regular season, 3,703,312. The average crowd here, 45,720. There's a flare that's going to be caught by Gonzalez, and we have one out in the 8th inning. So I can certainly speak for everyone in the organization to thank the fans who day in and day out come out here to spend good money, hopefully have a good time if they want to watch the Dodgers win. They've certainly done well enough. The Dodgers have won 52 and lost only 28. But we welcome you with open arms because the crowd adds so much to the game. The roar, the enthusiasm, the passion. Can you imagine if there was no one in the ballpark and we were televising a game? It would be awful. That's a drive to center. Coming up is PK to pick it off. 2 down in the 8th. A reminder, watch the Drive to the Pennant with MLB.TV Premium, #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for more details. Yeah, if you think about no one in the ballpark and you're televising a baseball game, the lack of sound would be awful. How about a movie? I mean, a very dramatic moment and no music, nothing in the background. That's flat as yesterday's ginger ale. Okay, 2 down. Here's LeMahieu. As usual, a thorn in the side. 2 for 3 today. Ball 1. So the Dodgers, McCarthy, then Avilan, then Howell, and Baez. Fastball for a strike. 1-1 with 2 out. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th, they are due to have Ruiz, Hernandez, and Culberson. Oh yes, hooray. So what? I have ice cream on my chin. Who cares? Nobody's noticing. I'm just one of over 50,000, and now I have some cotton candy. So we'll see you later. Almost got him. 2-1. Baez trying to squeeze that ball. Way back when, whenever a new ball was put in play, the Dodger pitcher would give the ball to Gil Hodges. And Hodges' hands were so strong, he would squeeze the ball, if the pitcher wanted that, to raise the stitching. That's a hopper up the middle. Nice stop by Seager. Has to make the play, and he does. Fine play by Corey Seager. That way they don't have to look at Carlos Gonzalez with a man aboard. The Corey up and at him, and we're heading for the bottom of the 8th in a 2-2 tie.
Penn and Chase Baseball is presented by Amazon Web Services.
I'm in there as Katie.
I'll call you later. Or, no, I won't. I'll text you because, what am I, your dad? Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, just text me.
Thank you. Get home safe. This must be what Antonio Brown feels like when he's dancing in the end zone.
Huh. This must be how Lucas felt when he finally got Katie's number.
Pepsi.
Stop. With that box, you'll be the first to win PlayStation VR. Player 1. Soon, it spreads like wildfire. Humanity becomes so plugged in, we never see them coming. That's why I was sent back to stop you.
Oh, hey, I won.
Right. The future of gaming starts at Taco Bell. Grab any $5 box and you could be one of the first to win PlayStation VR.
If Buster Posey wanted to save money...
Hey, Lenny. Hey, Buster. Got my toothbrush.
He wouldn't live out of his locker.
What are you doing? Doing my socks.
He'd save money with Esurance. Because Buster's a smart person, and smart people get Esurance. Official sponsor of Major League Baseball.
Yanks, Jays, MLB Network's Monday Pennant Chase Baseball, live at 7 Eastern.
Dodgers trying to win their 90th game and close down the year as far as they're concerned with the Giants. But remember, the Giants are still battling in the wild card, and they're 3-3, top of the 7th in San Diego. Dodgers 2-2, bottom of the 8th, with Ruiz, who has really taken a licking, and then Hernandez and Culberson. That's a strike. They're 3-3, top of the 7th inning now in San Diego. Kenley Jansen gets up in the Dodger bullpen. And fastball away. 1-1. Ruiz doubled, fly to center, popped up, 1 for 3. That's inside, 2-1. Dodgers thoroughly frustrated with themselves, 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. A clutch base hit here or there, and they're way out in front. That's a strike. However, they are not way out in front, which is part of the drama here. Meanwhile, the Giants battling for the wild card. They're tied up in San Diego. Foul tipped, and down goes Ruiz. After all the licks he took to the face and head, I'm surprised he could even taken that back. 1 out. So Russin, as usual, giving the Dodgers a very bad time. As we told you earlier, 14 previous innings, allowing just 6 hits. He has thoroughly stuffed them up to here. Hernandez 0 for 3 and a strike. On 1. Another foul ball. Christopher Patrick Russin from Detroit, lives in Canton, Michigan. In the minor leagues, he threw a no-hitter, made 118 pitches to pitch the no-hitter, and they say a terrific competitor. Russin signed with the Cubs for not a lot of money at all. TK strikes out. So they have run up to the guy who has haunted them quietly all year. He has struck out 3, and here's Charlie Culberson. So the Dodgers have fairly good numbers against left-hand starters at home, 15 and 10. 5 and 11, however, on the road. And they're playing today as if they're on the road. Charlie made a good catch and tag to get the runner Adames back in the 7th inning. It was a short hop catch from Ruiz, and then he got the tag. Tough play, but they do it so easily. 1-1 the count. Russin, well, he gives you everything. Fastball, slider, cutter, curveball, changeup. He doesn't really use any one pitch a lot. In other words, his four-seamer, based on last year, only 17% of the time. Sinker, 28%. Cutter, 27%. 2-1. Fastball hit by the mound, charging. Adames picks it up, throws high off the glove of Cardillo, and safely aboard on the error. So the 2-out error allows Culberson aboard, and Yasmani Grandal will be coming up. Grandal has been absolutely phenomenal, and especially in the series. He is 6 for 10, 2 home runs, one of them a grand slam, 7 RBIs, and toss in a double as well. However, he is batting right-handed, And, of course, his power is certainly from the other side. So the error gives the Dodgers the door open a little. And here's Grandal. And he promptly hits a one-hopper to Adames, who gets the force play. And that's that. Well, you knew it was going to be this way. Did you think the Dodgers were going to win 10-0 at the end of 2? No way. We're going to the 9th. Deadlock. 2-2, and here comes Kenley.
Your living room TV. If only you could bring it with you anywhere you went. It's got everything. Your live channels, instant access to the best entertainment, plus your recorded shows. The only problem is, it's stuck in your living room. Well, not anymore. Finally, you have the power to make the world your living room. Now the live channels you love and watch at home are with you anywhere. Download the new free DirecTV app. It's your TV. Take it with you.
Blue the dog here for propane. You know, I'm just a humble dog. I didn't attend the elite boarding kennels, but I do know that nothing beats the freedom of living out here. With propane, people can live where they want and just as cozy as they want. Whether it's a hot bath, no thank you, a warm bedroom, or a perfectly grilled steak. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Proudly independent, proudly American, proudly propane.
And so it has come to this. 9th inning, Colorado and the Dodgers tied 2-2. Kenley Jansen, who paid us a wonderful visit this morning with his wife and his 1-year-old boy. And I'm telling you, he is old boy. 1-year-old, he clapped together like he was cheerleading all the time he was here in the booth. And then Kenley and his wife would say 1, and he would hold up one finger. He was absolutely marvelous. That's been one of the great things about this, players coming up and bringing their children. Rob Seguin brought up a baby, his baby, of course, Robinson. Clayton Kershaw brought up his beautiful young daughter. And then, of course, Kenley's son today. That's been great. Yasmani Grandal will take over, having pinch hit and grounded out. And here's Kenley Jansen facing the heart of the order. Gonzalez, Arenado, and Dahl. No mistake here. Gonzalez is 0 for 3. Arenado 0 for 1. Dahl 0 for 3. Fouled away. 0-1. If you're keeping score, you would put Kenley Jansen in Rui's spot. Oh and 1 the count. And a high pitch. Carlos going after it. Colorado bullpen is busy, but right now all eyes are on Kenley. Gonzalez, Arenado, and Dahl. Some big mountains to climb in the range of the Rockies. Dodgers have loaded up the right side. Seager all alone on the left. Ball 1. Kenley Jansen, who is 10 for 10 in his last, I think it's 12 games. One ball, 2 strikes. And a high foul ball out of play. Kenley is 3-0, 3-2, but he has a great earned run average, 1.7. And the big thing with him, he has walked 9 and he has struck out 101. 1-2 to Cargo. 2-2 in the ninth. They're 3-3 down south. 2-2. Well, the crowd's had a lot of fun. They've been singing and having a great time, but not now. Now it's the ninth. Now things are deadly quiet. Giants and Padres 3-3, bottom of the seventh. 2-2. And ball three. In San Diego, Buster Posey, who had singled in 2 runs earlier, came up with a go-ahead run at second base and grounded out. So bottom of the seventh, 3-3 down there. 2-2 up here. And fouled away. Cargo a free swinger, so he does strike out a lot, but he also hits a lot of home runs. 25 home runs, 99 runs batted in, and he has struck out 125 times. 3-2. And a high pop fly. Seager all alone on the left side. 1 away. Well, it should be exciting, and I'm sure the crowd thinking about it. Ninth inning for the Dodgers. They'll have the top of the order. Well, here now is a problem. Nolan Arenado. It'll be Kendrick Turner and Seager. And standing in the way of that, the presence of a man with 40 home runs. 129 runs batted in and a .293 batting average. The infield leaves just about wide open on the left side of second base because Turner is guarding the foul line against an extra base hit. Seager is in the hole, and for Charlie Culberson, he's still on his side of second base, so that's a vast opening up the middle. And almost hit him. I don't think it did. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nolan from Lake Forest, California. And with all of his abilities, and they are amazing, he's 25 years old. One ball, 1 strike. Ball 2. Arenado 25 the middle of April. He's already gotten a Gold Glove, and he'll get a bunch more. 2-1. Foul back. 2-2. It's Sunday, so it's proper. The left arm underneath the sleeve of Nolan Arenado. He has a small tattoo which reads, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Two and two. And now a little meeting. Grandal finally letting Carlos Ruiz sit down. One out, 9th inning, a 2-2 tie, bases empty. Arenado and Dahl, 2 big mountains for Kenley Jansen to climb. And ball 3. Of course, with his power, it's the old story. Don't let him extend his arms. Don't let him get fully a full swing. So they're trying to keep the ball in on top of him, and the young left-hand hitter David Dahl on deck. But it's one trick to keep it in on him, and here's the big trick. Got him. So a huge out in the ninth inning as Nolan Arenado comes up empty. A big cheer. It was a bad ball. It would have been ball 4. Arenado 0 for 2 with 2 walks. So Kenley now has David Dahl, who has struck out twice, hit into a force play. Daniel Descalso is on deck to hit for the pitcher Russin, who is in Parra's spot. And ball 1. Dahl struck out twice, hit into a force play. Young, good-looking outfielder, came in hitting .316. Half a dozen home runs, 22 runs batted in. 1-1. Again, trying to stop a double play. I mean a double, not a double play. The Dodgers have Gonzalez deep guarding the line. The outfield all very deep to make sure there isn't a ball hit over a head or that gets through the gap. That's a strike. $51,962 eager to let out a roar before we go to the bottom of the ninth. And foul ball. The Rockies scored 2 in the third. The Dodgers got 1 back in the third. Dodgers labored and finally brought home the tying run in the 7th. Single by Turner and a triple by Corey Seager. But the Dodgers, as they've been doing all day, left Seager with 1 out from breaking the tie. And a high fly ball to right center. Puig fighting the sun, running parallel to the wall. It is gone over the wall, and this crowd is in shock. David Dahl, who was 0 for 2, hits a home run to give the Rockies a 3-2 lead. And boy, that will play well in San Diego. Dahl's 7th home run, his 23rd run batted in.
Pitch hitter number 3, Daniel Descalso.
So Kenley Jansen serves up a home run. It's only the 4th home run he has given up all year, but it is a monster. Certainly, as far as this crowd, they came to celebrate, and they've not been able to do it ever since the national anthem. Twice in the early innings, the Dodgers had 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, and they were lucky to get 1 run. So here now is Descalso. 0-1. Boy, seems like the heart went out of the crowd. The Dodgers will be haunted about one thing, not the home run. They've been haunted by the fact they are 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Popped up, Seager looking, coming in for it is Kendrick. All right, we'll see what they have. It'll be the bottom of the ninth. They've been knocked down before. It's Colorado 3 and the Dodgers 2.
Blue the dog here for propane. You know, I'm just a humble dog. I didn't attend the elite boarding kennels, but I do know that nothing beats the freedom of living out here. With propane, people can live where they want and just as cozy as they want. Whether it's a hot bath, no thank you, a warm bedroom, or a perfectly grilled steak. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Proudly independent, proudly American, proudly propane.
He's pretty much guaranteed to never drop the ball. And with the Fairfield 100% guarantee, you know that we'll never drop the ball either. We promise you'll be satisfied, or we'll make it right. That's our commitment to you, because you're our #1 priority. The Fairfield 100% guarantee. Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott.
To create Starbucks Double Shot Espresso, we put our energy into giving it the bold, rich taste of real Starbucks espresso with a hint of cream, so you can put your energy where it really counts. Starbucks Double Shot Espresso, real life energy.
This is what I feel like when I wear regular shoes, cramped and uncomfortable.
Mr. Long, you've been upgraded.
Which is why I wear Skechers wide fit shoes. It's like first class for your feet. Try Skechers wide fit with air-cooled memory foam.
The Dodgers might be down, but only for the moment. One out, bottom of the seventh. Manuel Margot tripled, and then Will Myers singled him home, and the Padres are leading the Giants 4-3, bottom of the seventh inning. For the Dodgers here in the ninth inning, down 3-2, and it will be Andrew Toles to get his left-handed bat up there against Adam Ottavino. Ottavino in 30 games with a good ERA of 2.2, and the Dodgers will have Toles followed by Turner, followed by Seager. Meanwhile, Padres are leading, so this crowd is going to be riveted no matter what happens in the bottom of the ninth. If the Dodgers can't tie it up and lose, they'll wait for the outcome of the big game in San Diego. Toles has been very valuable, especially coming off the bench, hitting .400. And that's ball one. It was the end of August when Andrew Toles, he really just did something you couldn't imagine. Oh yes, he hit a grand slam home run off Ottavino, but he hit it to left field, not to right. 2-0. Yeah, that was their remarkable comeback. Dodgers, I think, were down 8-4 and wound up winning 10-8. So Toles trying to get his way back with the club, and the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled away. 2-1 the count. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Rockies. The Dodgers have been their own worst enemy. 2 runs, 10 hits, 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Ottavino is big enough, 6'5", 220. And down goes Toles. Well, maybe we have the count wrong. 2-2. Toles walking away from the plate, but then making a full turn back. Justin Turner waiting on deck. Good breaking ball, frozen. That was a great pitch. 1 out.
Third baseman number 10.
So it's
Justin
something.
Turner.
One moment you hit a grand slam home run against the same pitcher who then strikes you out with a great curveball. So here's Turner, fly to center, double to left, walk, double single to right, and then Seager tripled him home to tie up the game. But the way the Dodgers have been playing, Seager was left at third with 1 out. Off-speed pitch. Ottavino is big and recovering from Tommy John surgery. Oh, 0-1. Fastball at 96 and away. Adam made his big league debut a few years ago, actually 6 years ago. He was then with the Cardinals. Throws hard, another 96, 1-2. Rockies picked him up off waivers from the Cardinals about 4 years ago. Adam Ottavino, O-T-T-A-V-I-N-O. Breaking ball got him. So Ottavino strikes out Tolles and Turner. And the Dodgers, who had tied the game in the 7th, should have had maybe a half a dozen runs at all. Now they're down to their last out. Meanwhile, what's new? It's 4-3 San Diego, bottom of the 7th inning. That's the latest. Well, we were saying earlier that the Dodgers really wanted to do it themselves. But it might be they're going to have to hang around and hope that the Giants lose. That takes a little of the fizz out of the champagne. But they'll be happy to drink it or spill it on each other. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball away. 2-0. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Colorado Rockies. Dodgers 2 runs, 10 hits. But that 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position, that tells the whole story. Andre Ethier. No, it's Jock Peterson coming out on deck. And a high drive into deep right field. Seager has done it again and tied up the game 3-3. Is heading for the mound. Jock Peterson was heading for the date, and the Dodgers might be heading either for a championship or extra innings. What a way to finish up in the 9th inning. A 2-out home run by Corey Seager after he hit a triple to drive in the run in the 7th inning. And believe it or not, we'll be back.
Good or better? The Hyundai Elantra versus the Honda Civic. The Elantra has an available hands-free smart trunk. The Civic doesn't. Hyundai was named #1 in customer loyalty 7 years in a row. Honda wasn't. And only one is backed by America's best warranty. The Hyundai.
What is that? Excuse me?
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. The 2017 Elantra from Hyundai.
Well, she loves to say, well, fantastic. A lot.
I do say that.
I study psychobiology. I'm a fine arts major.
Nobody really believes that I take notes this way, but they actually make sense to me.
I try to balance my studying with the typical college experience. This Windows PC is a lifesaver. Being able to pull up different articles to different parts of the screen is so convenient.
The pen is amazing. I used to be a Mac user, but this is way better.
This is what I feel like when I wear regular shoes. Cramped and uncomfortable.
Mr. Long, you've been upgraded.
Which is why I wear Skechers wide fit shoes. It's like first class for your feet. Try Skechers wide fit with air-cooled memory foam.
After tying the game in the 7th inning with a triple, Corey Seager ties the game with a 2-home run with 2 out in the 9th inning. So Boone Logan has been brought in. Jock Peterson, left-handed or no, is going to be the pinch hitter. Yasiel Puig was due up. Puig had hit into a force play, had a sacrifice fly, single to right, and then when they needed a fly ball, Yasiel went down swinging in the 7th inning with Seager at third. So it's a turnabout for Jock Peterson to come up and hit against a left-hander, Boone Logan. But Seager, what a game. He now has a single, a triple, and a home run. And ball one to Jock. Peterson, 24 home runs, 63 RBIs. Seager has 26 home runs, 72 RBIs. What a finish for home. And ball two. Boone Logan made an appearance earlier. That was in the first game of the series. Two and 0. 3-0. Waiting on deck, Adrian Gonzalez. This crowd, 51,962, thoroughly frustrated, then depressed, now elated with 2 out, 9th inning. And ball 4. So that'll bring up Adrian. Charlie Culberson is out on deck. Culberson will be called back, but that's looking ahead. We'll concentrate right now on Adrian Gonzalez. So we have a 3-3 tie here. It's 4-3 San Diego down there. And they're in the top of the 8th inning. Adrian Gonzalez singled, robbed of the hit by Arenado, and grounded out twice. 1 for 4. Oh, 1. Adrian, 17 home runs, 88 runs batted in. Boone Logan has had a lot of problems in relief. He is 2 and 4, and an earned run average about 3.6. In on the knuckles, 1 and 1. Certainly relieved in the Dodger dugout was Kenley Jansen. The Corey with a triple and a home run, keeping the Dodgers afloat. There's Kenley. 1 and 1. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Adrian not happy, doesn't say anything. Crowd doesn't like it. Then again, this crowd doesn't like a strike at all with a Dodger hitter. 1 and 2. Remember, 2 out. Tolles and Turner had struck out, and Seager hit the home run to keep the Dodgers in the game. Fastball, fly ball, left field. David Dahl for the catch. And wouldn't you know, we would go into extra innings. Of course, you didn't have anything better to do anyway, except watch Seager thrill 51,000. And we're heading for the 10th.
Good or better? The Hyundai Elantra versus the Honda Civic. The Elantra has an available hands-free smart trunk. The Civic doesn't. Hyundai was named #1 in customer loyalty 7 years in a row. Honda wasn't. And only one is backed by America's best warranty. The Hyundai.
What is that? Excuse me?
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. The 2017 Elantra from Hyundai.
Well, she loves to say, well, fantastic. A lot.
I do say that.
I study psychobiology.
I'm a fine arts major. Nobody really believes that I take notes this way, but they actually make sense to me.
I try to balance my studying with the typical college experience. This Windows PC is a lifesaver. Being able to pull up different articles to different parts of the screen is so convenient.
The pen is amazing. I used to be a Mac user, but this is way better.
I mean, there's Katie.
I'll call you later. Or, no, I won't. I'll text you because, what am I, your dad? Don't stay out too late.
Yeah, just text me.
Thank you. Get home safe. This must be what Antonio Brown feels like when he's dancing in the end zone.
Huh. This must be how Lucas felt when he finally got Katie's number.
Pepsi.
They have sealed up the lockers to prevent wet champagne, which would be all over the place and sloking the floors. However, they're not champagne. The question is, will the Giants sip vinegar down there in San Diego? Joe Blanton will come in. Dodgers have made a couple of changes. Andrew Toles, who batted and struck out, is in left. Jock Peterson, who batted, is in center. And KK Hernandez, a very good defensive outfielder, moves from center to right. So the outfield, Toles, Peterson, Hernandez, and Blanton facing Christian Adames. Couple of base hits today. And a strike. So the pitcher in bright sunlight and the hitter in shade. Adames single to left, fly to left, single to right. 2 for 3. Tom Murphy, a backup catcher, is out on deck. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Blanton has had a lot of work. Big right-hander indeed. Looks more like a football player. Ground ball up the middle. A diving try by Culberson, but he can't get it. Christian Adames comes up with his 3rd hit. You know what Adames hit going into this game? 214. 214, but he is 3 for 4 against the Dodgers. And now Garneau is not coming up. Raymond Tapa coming up. Actually, last name Tapia, Tapia. Tapia, left-hand batter, good speed. We saw him earlier in the series, hitting 265. Just called up. He's only had 30 some odd at bats. He's from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican. 22 years old, 6'2", and maybe 165 pounds. He tries to bunt and misses. Adames holding. So Christian Adames, 3 for 4 in a huge game against the Dodgers. We're 3-3 in the 10th inning. Nothing new down south. Still 4-3 Padres. 0-1. Again showing bunt. Tries to, I believe, and missed. Yep, he tried. So the count's 0-2. Raimel Tapia, his first name Raimel. Last year in the minors, he had a 29-game hitting streak. 0-2. Tries to bunt again, fouls it, and strikes out. So 1 out. Adames standing at first. By the way, Adames does not run very much. He has 2 stolen bases, but he's also been caught twice. So the count might let him run if it gets 2-1, 3-1. Steven Cardillo, he lined out hard in the 8th inning, batting in the 9th spot after all the maneuvering. And in for a strike, 0-1. Joe Blanton with a record of 6-2 and a solid earned run average 2.3. Cardillo checking to see if there might be a play in the works, 0-1, and run Adames. And as we said, Rockies have nothing to lose. They can gamble. They've had their year. The Rockies for the year have won 73 games. The Dodgers trying to win their 90th. Well, they're in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's still 4-3 San Diego. Strike one pitch is swung on, popped up into right field. Kike is out there fighting the sun and makes the catch. So Cardillo a fly ball to right, 2 down. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom half, they'll have a hitter for Jansen, Hernandez, and Culberson, but that could change dramatically as Charlie checks in. By the way, the middle of the Giants order was retired in order in the 8th inning. So they'll be going to the 9th, trailing at least 4-3. Charlie Blackmon struck out twice, lined out twice, 0 for 4, and a strike, 0-1. On 1 to Charlie, having a big year. 28 home runs, 77 runs batted in. Blanton, just another day's work. Charlie has been pitching for a living since 2002. So 15 years. Been through all kinds of games. Meanwhile, Charlie the Beard, Blackmon, backs out for the moment. 0-1 the count. Charlie fouls that away. Blanton is very impressive when you see him. Your first thought athlete, second thought football. He is 6'1" and about 225 pounds. He really looks like a linebacker, but he's been a very successful pitcher and been able to grind it out for all those years. There's also a very successful hitter in Charlie Blackmon. 0-2. There goes the runner, and it's fouled away. So Adames, who doesn't do much running, but in this case, 2 out, 10th inning, they turn him loose. And it's still 0-2, and Gonzalez, meanwhile, comes over to talk to Blanton. 2 veterans talking about whether to throw to first or not. Charlie Blackup, the pride of Dallas, Texas, out of Georgia Tech. 0-2. In the dirt, nice block by Grandal. So Adames not going on the pitch, and the Dodgers are fortunate because he could have stolen. So David Dahl hit a home run in the 9th inning to put the Dodgers in a bad spot, and Tolles and Turner struck out, only to have Seager, who tripled in the tying run in the 7th, hitting a home run to right to tie it up again. 3-3, 2 out, 10th inning. 1-2 to Charlie Blackmon time. Blackmon plays a lot. He's got a lot of power. He has struck out, however, less than 100 times, but he has struck out twice today. 1-2. Well, Gonzalez talked to Blanton maybe about coming over once or twice, and now we've seen that come to pass. Crowd so quiet. And if they get a third out, they'll go wild. There goes the runner, and foul back. So Adames getting a couple of wind sprints down to second base. Okay, they're going to hook up again. One and two. Adames goes, foul back again. So Adames figures to be, inch or two shorter by the time this inning's over. Blackman fussing with the gloves. Blanton sweating perhaps from the weather, and then again maybe not. And Adames almost running out of a right shoe, so timeout for a left over right or right over left. Kenley Jansen off the hook, shocked by the home run hit by David Dahl alongside of him, and Hung Young Ryu. All right, 3-3, top of the 10th, 2 out, 1 and 2 to Blackman. We'll see if Adames goes again, and instead they'll throw over there. Adrian tried to tag him on the leg, and Adames patting Gonzalez on the back as if say sneaky, trying to get me. As we said, the Rockies, they're having a ball. 1 and 2. He's not going. A shot up the middle, off the mound, and there will not be a play. Charlie Blackman hit one that hit the mound. That took the steam out of the ball, and no infielder could get to it. So for the Dodgers now, they have runners at first and second with 2 out. On the base hit by Blackman, his first of the day. He's 1-for-5. And the best hitter in the lineup coming up, that is DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu is 2-for-4. Seager made a great play to stop him from a third hit, and LeMahieu batting .350. So they are having a meeting at the mound. And now it's broken up. Culberson, Grandal, and Blanton. So Blackman gets the base hit, wouldn't you know? And here's LeMahieu, Grant Dayton down in the bullpen. But he would be getting ready for Gonzalez, and the Dodgers trying to get by in the 10th by stopping the best hitter the Rockies have, wouldn't you know? And a strike. LeMahieu not only hitting .350, he has 11 home runs, 66 runs batted in. And he is so good a hitter. He rarely strikes out. Struck out in the 70s. 0-2. Waiting on deck, Carlos Gonzalez. And again, sometimes the silence of the crowd makes it exciting. Right now, they're cheering with their hearts. They want an out, quick relief. 0-2. Swung on, shot up the middle. Culberson on the bag, and that's the inning. Charlie Culberson flying along to the bag, grabbing the ground ball and hitting the bag. And the top of the 10th inning is in the books. A sigh of relief will air out the city. It's a 3-3 tie.
The itsy-bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and clogged the gutter system, creating a leak in the roof. Luckily, the spider recently had Geico help him with homeowner's insurance. Water completely destroyed his Swedish foam mattress. He got full replacement and now owns the Sleep Number bed. His Sleep Number setting is 25. Call Geico and see how much you could save on homeowner's insurance.
Only those who dare drive the world forward. The Cadillac CT6.
First, there's shaving, blades, sharp and precise. Then Gillette shielding, comfy lubrication before and after. And also, cooling. Ooh, got goosebumps. Gillette Pro Shield Chill with lubrication before and after the blades. Shields and cools while you shave. Pro Shield Chill from Gillette, the best a man can get. Pro Shield, available with or without chill.
3-3, bottom of the 10th. In San Diego, it's 4-3 Padres, top of the 9th inning. So we will try as best we can to cheat a little bit. We'll watch the monitor as Chris Taylor is going to come up and bat. And we'll see if we can figure out, could it be possible that the Dodgers could win while hitting in the bottom of the 10th inning and the Giants lose? Well, that just adds more excitement, more seasoning to this game. Chris Taylor hitting .218, a home run, 7 RBIs. An infielder. Dodgers got him from Seattle. Chris, right-hand batter, and Boone Logan will be pitching. Kike Hernandez on deck. 0-1. Left-hander pitching in San Diego, but they're now showing some base hits by Miguel Mario, whatever his name is. I'm not sure. 0-1 the count here. That makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. Brandon Mara, we do know, is trying to close it for San Diego. Three runs, 8 hits for the Rockies. 3 runs, 11 hits. Tom Murphy behind the plate. 2-1. Margot is the fellow we're trying to remember. He's had a pretty good game down there. 0-1 the count in San Diego. We have to check and see the hitter. It's Trevor Brown, the catcher. Fastball, fly ball. Charlie Blackmon, sunglasses glistening in the sun, and makes the catch. So we have 1 away. So Taylor, a fly ball to center. And here comes Kike, who's been shut down. Grounded to third, fly to center, grounded to short, struck out. Trevor Brown takes a pitch in the dirt. So the Giants are just starting to hit. They went out the heart of the lineup previous inning. Fastball away. Well, the infield, the mound, and home plate all in shade. So it's a tough time to hit. It's 20 of 5. A little hard to see the ball now. 1-1. Trevor Brown just hit a ball back to the box. 1 out in the 9th inning. San Diego trying to beat the Dodgers to the punch. 4-3 San Diego. Brandon Belt is the batter. Meanwhile, Kike has a 2-1 count. Belt, of course, home run hitter. He has 16, 77 runs batted in, and hitting .270 for the year. No, not Kike. Belt. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that's taken low. Ball 3. against left-hand pitcher. Belt takes a strike, and the count 0-1. 1 out, 9th inning. Padres trying to take the dance out of the Dodgers by beating the Giants. Dodgers tied up 3-3 here in the 10th. Belt takes in the dirt, and the pitch brings the count 3-2 to Kike. On deck, Charlie Culberson. Brad Hand is trying to close it up, and the pitch swung on and missed. So down goes Kike. Long day for him, going 0 for 5 and striking out twice. And now Charlie Culberson coming up. So we will see 1 out in San Diego. Brad Hand is facing Brandon Belt, and the Padres lead 4-3. 2 out here in the 10th inning. Culberson struck out, singled twice, reached on an error. Charlie trying to keep the inning alive and let Grandal come up. Belt's trying to do the same thing in San Diego. Little foul out of play, 0-1. All right, Brandon still battling up there. 9th inning, 4-3 San Diego. 10th inning, 3-3. Dodgers and Rockies. Oh, and 1 to Charlie. Swung on a high fly ball to deep left field. The Dodger bench empties. Would you believe a home run? And the Dodgers have clinched the division and will celebrate on schedule. Leave it to the Dodgers. Charlie Culberson, a game-winning home run. What a moment to have it. And would you believe his first home run of the year? So the Dodgers did what they hoped to do. It was a struggle, but they won it on their own merits, 4-3. The last home run that Charlie Culberson hit would be 2 years ago in 2014 against Cincinnati. So the Dodgers, for the 4th straight year, have won the National League Division title in the West. And what a guy to do it. Charlie Culberson, after dramatic triple and a home run by Seager to keep them alive. So now they don't care about the Padres and the Giants. Care not at all. And boy, did it work out perfectly for the final home game of the regular season. They have a lot of work to do for sure. Still ahead of them. We'll be right back.
Well, the Los Angeles Dodgers clinching their 4th consecutive National League West Division championship thanks to a 4-3 win in 10. We'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching this game from Dodger Stadium. This is MLB Tonight. Alongside our insider Ken Rosenthal, I'm Robert Flores. So the Dodgers, they clinched, as I mentioned, a 4th consecutive division championship. They get 2 late inning homers, one from a usual suspect or someone that is you would expect this sort of thing to happen, but another one, Charlie Culberson, you would not expect it to happen. His 6th career homer.
All season we've talked about the Dodgers' depth, and at times they've been ridiculed for that depth. Okay, Dodgers, you've got 100 players. Well, Here's a guy signed to a minor league contract last November. His previous team, the Colorado Rockies. Guy who has been very useful for them this year. At different times of the year, he's been up and down, but today, his 6th career homer, his first since August 2014 when he was with the Rockies. The unlikely hero prevails.
Yeah. Corey Seager tied this game with 2 outs in the 9th. It's a hat and t-shirt game for the Dodgers as Ballpark Cam at Dodger Stadium showing you how the Los Angeles Dodgers celebrate a division championship. Here is Seager tying it in the 9th off Adam Ottavino. And this was belted.
2 outs.
2 outs in the 9th. And Seager, the likely National League Rookie of the Year, coming through in a big spot.
Robert, you can go stronger than likely on that one. It's certain. Question is MVP, and he'll be in that conversation too with the 2 Cubs, Brian Rizzo, with Daniel Murphy, with Arenado. Probably a top 3 finisher there.
Well, here is the game-winning hit from Charlie Culberson. He knew it as soon as he hit it.
It's his career highlight right there.
On Vin Scully Day, Dodger fans chanting "win for Vin" in those final few innings. And they certainly did. They win for Vin, and they win for a division championship.
And honestly, Robert, this is one of so many reasons why we love the sport. This guy's a journeyman. He's never had a moment like this. And you don't see this in basketball or football. Guys coming out of nowhere to help their teams clinch a division or league championship. What a moment.
As you see the players and coaches putting on their division championship T-shirts and hats. One of them looked like one of them was wearing a championship belt. I'm not sure where he got that, but I'm on board with it. Just moments ago, a salute to Vin Scully. As you see them,
here it is.
Yep. And Ken, that was something that we saw at the beginning of the game. Every time a Dodger would step to the box in his first at bat, he would tip his batting helmet to Vin Scully up in the press box.
A fitting tribute, a perfect tribute. And one of the really neat things about this season with Vin has been seeing the respect he's gotten from players. And these are guys who wouldn't normally know who an announcer was for the visiting or the opposing team. They knew who Vin Scully was. They trudged on up to the press box to see him. He took all those photos with different players from opposing teams. And to see the respect that he got from his own team today, the Dodgers. He always attends Sunday Mass with the players, and it's just a perfect day.
Yeah. Vin Scully will...
Speaking to the crowd right now.
Let's see if we can listen in here.
I'm terribly embarrassed. I was hoping the team would win the game 10-0. There'd be no tension, and it would be a nice, easy day. Because I have a very, very small, modest contribution on my last day. I have always felt that you folks in the stands have been far, far important to me. You have given me enthusiasm. You have given me young at heart. Believe me when I tell you, I've needed you far more than you needed me. True, true, true. Anyway, I wanted to try and express my appreciation to all the players, God bless them, and to all you folks here in the ballpark. It's a very, very modest thing. I sang this for my wife. It was a loving gesture. You know the song, "The Wind Beneath My Wings." And that's what you are. You're the wings beneath the team's wings. You're the team beneath my wing. So I know it's modest. I know it's an amateur. Do you mind listening?
nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could ever be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything, everything I wish that I could be. And I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings.
I didn't know he was going to sing. One, I didn't know he could sing so well, but I didn't know he was going to do that. That's amazing.
It was amazing. Any other setting, any other circumstance, you'd say that was hokey.
Right.
But here, in this setting, in this circumstance, it was just beautiful.
Yeah. So the Dodgers celebrate the end of a chapter. Vin Scully's time with the team coming to an end, while beginning a new chapter in the postseason. Vin Scully, by the way, has been with the Dodgers since 1950. Today was the 166th walk-off homer he's seen the Dodgers hit.
It's amazing. And I don't know what kind of message you glean out of this, but this was the saddest of days.
It was.
One of the worst days we can remember. And yet it ends in this beautiful, poignant, touching moment with Vin. And you see the Dodgers there celebrating. Victory lap through Dodger Stadium. This never gets old for the players. Something that Jose Fernandez, by the way, would have loved to experience.
Yeah. As you said, it's been a very tough day for Major League Baseball. But Ken, as we transition to, look ahead to what's next for this Dodger team, aside from Clayton Kershaw's health, and maybe that being the biggest question mark, what are the other things that you need to see sort of answered on this team's behalf before they make a deep run?
I don't know that we're going to get answers, but Rich Hill's health would be another thing. They've protected him. They've had him in bubble wrap to some extent. And the other issue that they're going to face in the postseason is their difficulties with left-handed pitching. Against the Nationals, they're your certain opponent. It would be a situation where they face Gio Gonzalez, most likely. He's an erratic left-handed starter, has his moments where he's good, he's bad. They've got some left-handed bullpen as well. That's the one issue, but I don't expect it to be a huge issue in that particular series. That should be perhaps the most competitive of the first-round series.
They have the Dodgers have the worst batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage against left-handed pitching.
It's too late for the Nationals to load up on lefties, though.
Yeah.
They've only got Gio as a starting option. So, again, this is a team that has kind of defied the odds all year. 27 players on the disabled list, tying a Major League record. Dave Roberts, a Manager of the Year candidate. Corey Seager, the likely Rookie of the Year. They've done some really special things considering the circumstances that they were under. And I know they have the highest payroll. I get it. But given all that happened to them, this is still a stirring triumph.
All right, so the Dodgers beat the Rockies in extra innings in walk-off fashion. The San Francisco Giants fall to the San Diego Padres 4-3. The Dodgers and Giants will finish the regular season against one another, and clearly those games will more than likely have weighted more significance for the Giants now that the Dodgers have clinched the division.
Giants hope they have significance.
Absolutely.
Hope they're still alive.
All right, that's going to
Cutler was completely held out of Thursday's session as he recovers from his right thumb injury. When he returns is anybody's guess, and Cutler has proven in the past he's a fast healer.
This guy is the toughest guy I've ever been around in 12 years coaching the National Football League. He is